Naruto had the calmer side of Kurama, which is what if Naruto had Minato's Kurama. So this is gonna go really, really different because that Kurama is way nicer than the crappy Kurama. I'm kidding, I like that one better actually. I don't really like the one that Minato's because Minato didn't have to do anything to earn its trust. I just trusted Minato from the start. Okay, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. So we're gonna start off the story with Minato actually saying, I don't want Naruto to have such a hard childhood. And Kushina agrees and says, I will give Naruto the calmer side of the Nine Tails, and I will take the other half. The angered half. And Kushina agrees and he says, alright. And then he says blah 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 G2. And then immediately when they're about to get stabbed, they actually don't. The third Hokage comes in with the staffing and breaks through the barrier. He's like, Minato, I don't care. I'm breaking it and stopping the Nine Tails. He says, wait, Lord Third, don't do it. He says, I'm sealing this inside of Naruto and me. Just tell everyone that Naruto is not a bad vessel. He is a human. Alright, Lord Third? He says, yes, Minato. So then, Minato, blah, 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 blah. Naruto actually gets that. And Third Hokage says, if anyone were to attack Naruto or beat him up or bully him, they will be executed. And everyone is scared now because they're like, well, we can't call that kid names. I don't think they would want to. He'd actually say, this is the calmer side of the Nine Tails. He will not attack. It is okay. Please, everyone in the village, trust him. So they all agree, and Naruto's treated as a hero, actually, and he's not treated as a hero, he's treated as a normal person. So Naruto would eventually become a prodigy. He's not going to be some weak kid, because he has better chakra control, because Minato says he doesn't really need to steal it, he just needs to put it inside of Naruto. He's like, because he's seen Nine Tails have some calmer times. He's also had some calmer times with the Nine Tails where it doesn't go and try and break out of Kushina. He's like, I trust it, but he says I still need to seal it. So Minato did seal it in, and immediately when Naruto's about like 3, he starts to hear noises in his head. He says, hey, kid. So Naruto walks into a random room and he's like, hello, the Nine Tails. And he's like, calm down, kid. I am not your enemy. I am your friend. I am your Biju. And he's like, what's a Biju? And he says, I am a tailed beast. I have the fourth Hokage entrusted me into you. I have one more thing to say to you. The fourth Hokage is your father. And Naruto's like, what? The fourth Hokage is my father? Blah, 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 blah. We skip that. And he's like, I can start training you if you want. And he says, yeah, sure. So immediately Naruto heads out to a giant plain and he says, hey, but first Naruto walks to the Hokage house and asks if the third Hokage can come out to the west with him, can come out to like a desert with him. And the third Hokage agrees, so they leave to a desert, and Naruto releases the Nine Tails, and Minato's like, what are you doing? And the third Hokage's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's okay, he doesn't attack. He's like, yes, remember Hiruzen? Old man. He says, you old man. And Hiruzen kind of gets a little ticked off. He's like, ugh. He's like, I want Kurama to train me, and that's why I'm doing this. He said, oh, okay, Naruto, you can do that. Just if he gets out of control, you tell me. I will seal him. So, alright, so Naruto starts to get trained by the Nine Tails. So they're training for a couple of months. They train for a lot, and actually Naruto tries, in Naruto's bank account, Naruto actually goes around doing work to see if he can get some money. He does work around the village to see if he can get some money to help him and the Nine Tails eat, because the Nine Tails eats a lot since it's a giant fox. So when Naruto finally raises like $10,000, he goes on a shopping spree for food and ninja support items. he buys tons of food for Kurama when they train, so they don't get tired out too fast. He buys drinks, everything. So, but then Naruto finds something else. He finds a cool katana. It says it can go with any element except for wood. Instead, it can go with every element except for earth style. And he says, "Hey Kurama, what are my elements?" And he says, "I don't know, let's try it out." So he says, "Grab this leaf. Try and break it. If you break it, if it cuts in half, your element is wind. If one side turns wet, if one of it turns wet, if a side turns wet, you have water style. If another side turns wet, if a side crumbles, you have lightning style. And if it burns, you have fire style." I don't know the other ones, so screw it. So yeah, so he says, "Here." So Naruto tries to break it, and he actually does. He crumbles it, he wets it, and he cuts it in half. Naruto has 3 chakra natures, and Kurama's like, "What the?" And he's like, "Hey, calm down, man." He's like, "Nah. How do you have 3 elements? Not even Minato had that. Minato only had wind and lightning." I'm pretty sure they had lightning. So we're gonna go with, he's like, "Alright, I'm gonna start training you in Windjutsu, cause the father of all of us, of my tailed beast friends." "Wait, you have friends?" He's like, "Duh, of course I have friends." He's like, "What are their names?" And he says, "So the first one is Shukaku. He's really stubborn. Next is Madatabi. Then it's Isobu. Then it's Son Goku. Then Kokuo. Then Saiken. Then Chome. Then Gyuki. And then my other half who's sealed inside your father." And he says, because he didn't want you to have a terrible childhood with that one. He's always angry. And he says, "Alright, so Naruto trains for 1 year more." Trains for like 2 years, and once Naruto's 4, he enters the academy. He is so strong, and he has mastery. And Kurama says, "I will let you sometimes. You have to let me sometimes." And Naruto says, "You have to let me take over sometimes." Kurama says, "When you're in dire situations, I will take over and help you fight." And Naruto agrees. And Naruto says, "Whenever I'm in a dire situation, you have to pay me rent." And he's like, "Ah, you're funny, kid. But yeah, I will." So, moving on to the academy. Naruto excels because he has Kurama in his head telling him all about... Naruto also knows a lot because Kurama is really, really old. He's like 1,000 years old. No, I'm kidding. He's like a couple of 100 years old. He's like, "Alright." He tells Naruto all... He doesn't tell Naruto the answers. He says, "Naruto, I don't want you to be a spoiled little brat. So I'm gonna teach you, not gonna tell you." So he teaches Naruto all kinds of stuff in class, and whenever he teaches something, Naruto says it in class, and Iruka's like, "Wow, Naruto, you're really, really smart." And Naruto's top of the class, Sasuke's behind him. So now moving on to the restricted sparring match thingies, the sparring matches. Immediately it's Naruto versus Sasuke. Everyone's rooting for Sasuke, but not all of them are this time because Naruto's not as bad. Naruto's not a prankster for attention because he has Kurama as a friend. So immediately Naruto would activate QBIs and then blitz over to Sasuke. He'd punch Sasuke in the face, and then tackle him and use the unison sign. Sasuke's like, he's like, and then Sasuke kicks him off and says, "You loser! How did you get like that?" And then Naruto starts to go into depression. And Iruka immediately tells Sasuke, "Head to the principal's office, now." And everyone's like, "Come on, Iruka-sensei, why are you gonna make Sasuke go to the principal?" He's like, "He just made fun of a student. You think that's okay? Just because who they are? And they're like, "No." And immediately, at recess, when Iruka's not there, everyone starts beating up Naruto. They're all trying to go and attack Naruto for making Sasuke go in the principal's office. They're all like, "You stupid idiot, why did you let Sasuke go to the principal's office?" And Naruto starts to get sad. Then Kurama says, "I'll take over and teach them a lesson. I will not attack them. I will tell them." Naruto says, "Okay." Kurama says, "Hey." And everyone's like, and everyone starts to get scared. They're like, he's like, "Why would you bully someone? Are you bullying him because of me?" I am Kurama, the nine-tailed fox. You are not gonna make fun of my Jinkichuriki host and yell at him for no reason because he beat someone and they called him a loser. You will never ever do that again. And Kurama's like, and they all go, and they're all shivering, so then they run to Aruka and they say, a monstrous headed Naruto is talking to us. Immediately Aruka rushes over and says, Naruto, what is going on? And he says, and then Kurama says, I am Kurama, the nine-tailed fox. I didn't kill your parents, just saying. Aruka wouldn't actually hate Naruto in this timeline, because I'm just going to say Aruka's parents didn't die. They just died of old age. So screw it. Aruka's parents died of old age. Actually, hold on, they'd be like 50, so no. He wouldn't really hate him. But for the support of this, he would probably hate Naruto. He said, he would probably be like, Naruto! He said, no way he would say, hello? And Naruto would actually be crying, because it's kid Naruto. He doesn't want to be looked at and called stupid. So he starts running away, and then he blitzes off with Kurama mode. And Naruto says, I'll never come back to the academy again. Wow, that's sad. Alright, whatever. So Naruto says, I'll never come back to the academy again. And Naruto's like, wait, Naruto! He blitzes, and then Naruto blitzes off with a sword on his back. He says, I'm kidding, he doesn't have one yet. He will be getting one. So Naruto would probably run off into the forest until he's attacked by and he says, and then two academy students say, like four say, if you go and go thing, we'll be your friend. Kurama tells Naruto, no, don't do it. He's like, okay, Kurama, I'll do it just once. He said, don't! Naruto agrees. And then this happens. When he's attacked, he immediately activates Kurama Shakamon. Kurama takes over and says, and then starts to release it, and Kurama starts to release some bloodlust. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, that is better. So he says, so Kurama starts to release his bloodlust. And that scares them all, and then he blitzes over and punches one in the face, then wind gale palms the other, then lightning streams that one, and then backflip kicks the other one, and says, eat this! And then he says, water stream! He says, great waterfall! And kicks one into a waterfall and says, eat this! And then does the giant waterfall, drowning one. And they're all knocked out, and immediately when Naruto comes, Naruto's already back at the academy. Naruto immediately blitzes to a shop and says, I need something else for combat. And then Kurama says, let me out and I can give you something. He says, okay. And he pretends to scare Naruto like he's gonna attack him. He's like, Kurama! What are you doing? And Kurama goes, just kidding. There he goes. And then Naruto starts to laugh a little bit. And so then he says, here. And then he snaps his fingers. And out of nowhere, a flying Raijin kunai, two of them, come and drop into Naruto's hands. He's like, what are these? And he says, these are the fourth Hokage. Comment? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that game is you're talking about. But I'm just talking about it on Naruto What If and Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. So we're going to be going over what happens next. Naruto would, of course, have the Flying Raijin kunais. And it would actually be pretty good. So Naruto would probably visit over. And Naruto would have, the Flying Raijin kunai. He's going to be a prodigy. He comes right back to the academy. And he passes with flying colors. We're going to do a 10-year time skip, of course. No, it's not 10 years, actually. It's like an 8-year time skip where Naruto's 13. Alright, comment. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. If you're watching this, please subscribe. And I'm not done with this what if. So, we move on to Team 7. I'm gonna change the team ups. It's Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata. Because, well, we all know Hinata is better than Sakura, because she's useless. Hinata is better than Sakura, because Sakura is useless, and I don't really feel like doing a Team 7 dynamic where Sakura is there. So we're gonna just scrap that, and just do this. So now we're moving on to the bell test. Kakashi's like, oh, hey, Naruto. And he's like, oh, hey, Kakashi. Because Kurama told him that's your dad's student. So Naruto would be like, oh, hey, Kakashi. And he's like, how does this kid already know my name? And Naruto says, then he says, we're going to talk about dreams. Naruto's is to be the strongest shinobi to ever exist. And to become Hokage. Naruto and Sasuke was supposed to go on with his revenge plot, and he also says, I want to destroy 2 people. And Naruto says, like you can. And it's like, oh yeah, Naruto, would you like to know who that second person is? And Naruto goes, who? And he says, you. And then immediately starts wielding hand signs and starts shooting a fireball at Naruto. Naruto, who's off guard, gets hit by it, gets the brunt of it, but blocks. Then he dodges and then kicks him in the face. And blitzes over and punches Sasuke in the face, sending him up in the air. He puts 2 fingers to Sasuke's back and says, Kurama, nine-tailed barrage! And kicks him down once. Then goes above him. Punches him he skyrockets him in the air. Then jumps down. Wind gale palms him down. Then knees him in the stomach. That's 5 hits. Then... oh, hold on a minute. Any more comments? Nope. Then he spins around and kicks Sasuke in the face. And then he says, eat this, Sasuke, lightning stream! And they start to electrocute Sasuke, and he does his final hit. I don't know what's going on, dude. I think he keeps on glitching. Then after that, he does the final thing, which is a wind gale. I'm kidding. He says, water style! Great! And he says, spiral, water blast. It's basically just a Kamehameha, but it's water. Sasuke gets hit with the brunt of that attack, sending him back, making Sasuke lose the fight. And Kakashi's like, wow, this kid shows skill. Didn't expect that to happen. And Naruto hears that and he's like, what? He's like, nothing. And anyways, what would you be able to do? And then Naruto cracks his knuckles and says, I can't wait for tomorrow. But before that, Mizuki tricks him into saying, hey, go get the scroll of sealing. You'll get so much stronger and destroy that Kakashi guy. Naruto agrees, goes and gets the Shadow Clone and the Flying Raijin basics. So Kurama's helping him practice for the night, but then Naruto goes to sleep with a mastered... well, I am lazy, so I'm going to say Naruto masters the Flying Raijin because he's with Kurama. And I don't give a crap. So, Naruto would pretty much body Kakashi. When Kakashi says go, Naruto blitz off into the forest and starts shooting mini tail beast balls, just shooting them off from his hands, just yeeting them towards Kakashi, creating giant explosions. When he sees Kakashi right in front of him, he says, nice try, Kakashi, and says, water style, great waterfall, and puts the whole land into water. And then Kakashi's like, he even knows a giant water style jutsu like that? And then Naruto says, Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, because he learned that from the 3rd Hokage. He throws so many Shuriken and says, Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu. They all run at Kakashi. Kakashi dodges them all. Another comment. This lit, you're the best person. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. So, now we're gonna go to the... another comment. It's like... I don't know you. That's the thing. I don't know you. So, we're gonna be going off to the next part of this what if. I'm kidding. It's not even over yet. So, Naruto will be bodying and I mean bodying Kakashi. He'd blitz up and throw tons of shuriken down on Kakashi, because he pinpoints him, and then he says, "Tail Beast Bomb!" And then he creates a giant one in his hand and yeets it down on Kakashi. Now Kakashi would dodge this, but he's hit by the explosion of it, and he's sent flying. Now, this is a really fun what if, but we're gonna be going over the Land of Waves art in the next part. This will probably be out later on today. If this video can get like 10 likes or something, I'll do it really early. I don't know. So, this is the end of it for right now. Oh yeah, just saying. Give me a minute. I have to finish this. So, Naruto would blitz over, grab the bells from Kakashi, grab another one, throw it to Hinata, and they would all pass. And Naruto would pass, Hinata would pass, and Sasuke would pass. Cause, well, blah. So this is basically it for now. I'll see you guys next time, which is at